Right now at 6, Celebrating History, a Joplin organization, is celebrating the Emancipation Proclamation, plus pet support. The Joplin Humane Society hosts a poker run fundraiser. Also, Hit the Pavement. Joplin holds its annual downtown sidewalk sale. And Play That Funky Music. Carthage plays host to the 4-State Record Show.
The 4 States' most watched news starts now.
Hot and humid conditions with a continuing excessive heat warning, but could relief finally be on the way? We get more now from Michael Hayslip.
Well, Chris, it's going to be one of those things where you say, yeah, there is going to be relief on the way, but before we get there, we already have substantial thunderstorm activity throughout the 4 states. We're going to zoom in right now in Barton County around the Lamar area, and that's without the lightning tracker. Throw that thing on there, look at the amount of strikes that's throwing on. I do want to say that we do not have any severe thunderstorm warnings in effect right now. That's going to be subject to change, though, because these things are popping up constantly. We'll work from east to west right now. We got another one coming off of Highway 69, making its way toward the state line. And then as we drop down into the Joplin area, tell you what, Joplin has been pretty lucky so far. The recipient of cooler temperatures, yet not the rain that's come out of Cherokee County. But still keeping our eyes on this one that's working just about into Labette County right now, and that thing is packing a punch as far as the amount of rain that it has. We have not seen a substantial drop in our temperatures as of yet, but I guarantee you here by the time when I catch up with you in about 15 minutes, we're going to see a huge difference because our average high for tomorrow is only going to be in the 80s. Chris, coming up here in just a little bit, we're going to talk about the rain that we've absorbed. Also, too, how about the rain that we can absorb? Maybe it's a good thing we've stayed dry here for the past 4 or 5 days.
All right, Michael, thank you. An event in Joplin is celebrating the day that slaves in America were freed. Emancipation Park Days is a 3-day event going on this weekend with a goal to unite the people of Joplin and educate them about African American history. Emancipation Day celebration officials say they intended for anyone in the community to stop by the event.
Emancipation Days is pretty much like a family reunion. I mean, people come together, we have good food, we have great music, we have stuff for kids every day. It's all free and open to the community to come out and enjoy. It's very hot, so we're trying to keep everyone cool.
To find out more information for Sunday's Emancipation celebrations, you can find Joplin Emancipation Park Days on Facebook. Today may have been a hot one here in the 4-state area, but that didn't stop plenty of motorcycle enthusiasts from supporting the Joplin Humane Society this morning, and they did it by participating in the Showing the Love Poker Run, which was organized by Cycle Connection in Joplin. There were some big bucks for the winner and a lucky loser. The winning hand took home $1,000, and the worst hand went home with $250. And even though the motorcycles were the stars of the show, the event made it known that all bikes and cages are welcome. The city of Joplin held its annual downtown sidewalk sale. Businesses along Main Street between 4th and 7th came out to sell items to the community. The annual event occurs during the last Saturday in July, and one downtown business owner says this is one of the biggest days of the year for the downtown owners.
Like I said, this is one of our busiest days of the year. People look forward to it. We've been having phone calls probably a couple months. Are we going to have one this year? Of course, last year with COVID, we were unable to.
The store owner adds that this event not only gets more people into the downtown Joplin area, it gets local businesses more exposure. Carthage hosted the 4-state record show earlier today at Memorial Hall. It featured a number of vendors from across the 4 states and beyond. Vendors of what, you might ask? Records, vinyl, LPs, you get the idea. A wide variety of albums were available for collectors to scoop up. Officials say the success of the record shows is thanks to the community.
There's so much support for the vinyl community in this area, and all these dealers are generally saying they're doing better here than they do at home, shows at home, so everybody's thrilled to come out.
The event is hosted twice each year and will return in February of 2022. Tonight at 10, we'll hear more from a vendor on the changes in the record world. New COVID-19 cases are up 150% across the nation over the past 2 weeks, according to Johns Hopkins, while mask mandates are returning in some places. The CDC warned this week that vaccinated Americans who become infected, while rare, can transmit the Delta variant as easily as those who are unvaccinated. CBS News correspondent Michael George reports from New York.
In Florida, now the nation's largest COVID hotspot, the CDC reports daily new cases surpassed 21,000 on Friday.
Once it started getting pretty bad and my godmother got it and she had to go to the hospital, I just realized that it's time to step up, get a vaccine.
And as the highly contagious Delta variant spreads nationwide, the new school year is fast approaching.
We go back to school. It's going to be a very fun experience with half the people not wanting to wear masks. A lot of people are unvaccinated and people that are coming to school that are sick.
While vaccinated people have a strong level of protection, new Delta variant data, in part, prompted the CDC to reimpose its indoor mask guidance.
Vaccinated people who do have a breakthrough infection are clearly capable of transmitting the infection to an uninfected person.
So really, whenever there are people congregated together, you need to wear a mask. If you have young children at home, elderly, or people with immune suppression, you probably want to wear a mask around them presently.
This Sacramento, California restaurant owner says he understands mask mandates, but they come with controversy.
People that don't like masks certainly let us know they don't like masks.
And the massive Lollapalooza Music Festival is underway in Chicago.
These are my negative COVID test from yesterday and his vaccination.
My vaccination card.
Amid worries that Lollapalooza could become a super spreader event, organizers are hoping performances stay front and center and that COVID is shut out. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Hospitalizations are up about 74% over the past 2 weeks, according to Johns Hopkins University. And we take this time now to honor one of our many four-state heroes. Corporal Stephen Sanders served in the Marines, his hometown, Galena. We're proud to recognize Corporal Stephen Sanders, tonight's four-state hero. And of course, to learn more about other heroes or nominate one of your own, just head over to our website, koamnewsnow.com. COVID and Alzheimer's. Coming up on the KOAM News at 6, a look at a possible link between the virus and Alzheimer's disease. And cruise testing, a new policy for those planning an extended cruise.
$55 in total cash and Go Rewards prizes.
A link between COVID-19 and Alzheimer's disease cases and new guidance on mask wearing as COVID cases are surging. Michael George back again with some of the week's top health stories.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention revised its guidelines, saying even vaccinated people should wear masks indoors in areas where COVID rates are high.
We need to wear a mask to protect each other and to stop the rapid spread of this virus as we work to get more people vaccinated.
The move comes as new data shows the Delta variant of the coronavirus is much more contagious than previously thought. COVID-19 could play a role in advancing Alzheimer's in some patients. The Alzheimer's Association says many coronavirus survivors deal with loss of smell and taste, as well as with persistent forgetfulness, months after they've recovered from the initial illness. Researchers say new data points to COVID-19 infections leading to lasting cognitive impairment and Alzheimer's symptoms. And a second dose of a COVID-19 vaccine is safe for people who experienced an allergic reaction after the first shot. That's according to doctors at Massachusetts General Hospital, who say about 2% of people have an allergic reaction to their first shot, like itching, hives, or flushing. The majority of patients had no issues after their second shot. Those are some of the week's top health stories. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
If you're planning a cruise, listen up. Royal Caribbean is expanding its coronavirus testing requirements in U.S. waters. It now requires passengers over the age of 2, including those who are vaccinated, to show a negative test before boarding trips of 5 nights or longer. It will accept negative antigen and PCR results. New policy, which the cruise line says is out of an abundance of caution, goes into effect Saturday and runs through August 31st. The test must be done no more than 3 days before boarding. Before the change, vaccinated passengers did not have to show a negative test. New policy comes as Delta variant proliferates. The announcement came the same day as news that 6 Royal Caribbean passengers tested positive for coronavirus on a 7-night cruise. 4 of them had been vaccinated. Japan records its highest daily increase in COVID-19 infections with more than 12,000 new cases today. And 10 out of Japan's 47 prefectures reported their highest new daily cases too, according to the country's public broadcaster NHK. Now, meanwhile, the number of coronavirus cases linked to the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games has risen to 241, up from 21 the previous day, according to the game's organizers. This all comes after Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga extended the state of emergency for the Tokyo metropolitan area and Okinawa on Friday amid a surge in COVID-19 cases. Later in sports, a local athlete has made his decision on where he's going to play basketball.
And
within one day.
Going to take you to 2 tower cams, and it's going to be a bit deceiving because you're going to see a whole lot of cloud cover and dark skies out on the horizon, but actually not see any rain falling from our tower cams. But that is not the case throughout the 4 states. As we go to the Skywatch Storm Tracker, we've got thunderstorm activity for our Saturday evening. Let's go ahead and bebop down to Joplin, where we've got heavy rain that's now moving through Cherokee County on its way to cross the Missouri state line and throw on the lightning strikes. That is in the past 5 minutes alone. So that thing is packing a good punch on the western end of it. I do want to point out that for the time being, we do not have any severe thunderstorm watches or warnings in effect. But there we are from 7th and Range Line. If you look off to the west, you get a good idea. That thing may not be elongated in scope, but I tell you what, it is coming down in droves out there near the Galena area. Let's kind of reset the Skywatch Storm Tracker map and work from east to west right here, as we'll throw down from Barton into Cedar County, where we've got torrential rainfall coming down, and then as we get from, that'd be Crawford into Barton County, making its way across the state line. If I give you this lightning indicator, you're just going to be like, that's too much to comprehend at one time, and I completely understand that. So let's shift off to what we've got coming out the west, out of Montgomery, and now working its way through Labette County. Extreme heavy rain right along, that's going to be in between Parsons and Erie right there. For those of you that are familiar with the Queens Road area, even working back to the west of Thayer, that's going to affect especially the Neosho River. Now, here's the bright side of it. We've been through about a week and a half of very dry, very hot weather. The river has had a chance to recede. At the same point in time, we're not done with the night as of yet. I need everybody to know, whether it be the Neosho, the Marmonton, the Osage, the Little Osage, we're going to be back around flood levels here by the end of the night. The 24-hour precip accumulation numbers, they're not impressive right now, but let's remember the rain is not going to stop until we get into Sunday morning. Watches and warnings. Let's go ahead and compound this. What's some thunderstorm activity without hot heat? That's right, excessive heat warnings for all the counties indicated in purple right there. As we sit around high 80s to low 90s, heat index readings still around 105, even as the thunderstorms roll through. But I want to point out these wind arrows. Watch how this thing collapses down from the north. As this low pressure system moves in, gives us a northerly breeze, and after we get through this, we are actually going to have much better temperatures on the horizon, not only for tonight, but into next week as well. Now, bear with me because it is going to last all the way until Sunday morning. But as it dives on into the southeast, we are looking at opening up August with 80-degree temperatures and being able to hold those all the way through next week.
These upper 80s are going to feel fantastic.
We won't know what to do with ourselves.
I mean, it's almost going to be, you're going to feel like you need a coat with how cool it's going to feel compared to where we are right now.
It'll honestly feel like I need a jacket.
You'll regret the jacket shortly after putting it on, but it's going to feel like it at first.
For someone who does such great work on air, and I have not had a chance to say this to everyone who watches Chris Warner's wonderfully produced show, Danny Terzer, welcome to the KOAM Morning News.
Yeah, we are doing the weekend edition of the KOAM Morning News.
Is
That's
it the
what
morning, or have I lost my mind?
It could very well be the morning. But Danny, you are joining us, and you've got some exciting news. A local athlete has decided where he's going to continue his basketball career.
Yeah, we'll take a look at Pittsburgh's Javon Grant and where his college career is headed. And Pittsburgh Post 64 aims to secure a spot in the championship game. All that and more next. Pittsburgh Post 64 hands the Kansas Senators their first loss of the American Legion State Tournament in a huge comeback victory on Friday. Now, just 4 teams remain. Today, Pittsburgh takes on Larned in the semifinals. Brandon Kelly gets a deep hit out to right center. Ethan Light makes it home from second. Pittsburgh up 2-0 in the third. Next inning, Ian Sanders hits this one all the way to the back wall. That scores Ian Orth to cut Pittsburgh's lead in half. Senators load the bases in the 6th, down by 1. Up the line, and Pittsburgh gets the final out at third. Isaac Elkins comes in to try and close this one out. Big swing and a miss. The Patriots hang on, winning 2-1, and Pittsburgh is headed to the championship. It's a rematch between the Kansas Senators and Pittsburgh Post 64 for the championship. The Patriots won the first meeting on Friday. Today, Pittsburgh heats up in the third. Ethan Light does a job, pops it up, and Cameron Drager makes it home to put the Patriots out on top. Then Brett Sutterby finds the grass in left. Caston Fields is going for home, slides in safe, 2-0 Pittsburgh. Senators at the plate in the bottom of the third. This one sent all the way back, a 2-run double, and that evens the score at 2. But Trevor Amershak keeps it that way. Huge strikeout with the bases loaded to get out of the jam. Pittsburgh goes on to become the state champions, defeating the Senators 9-6. In the majors, Kansas City is coming off a series opening loss against the Blue Jays. The Royals have been hot since the All-Star break, so they'll look to get back in the win column tonight. In Game 2, the Royals instead take back-to-back losses, this one a 4-0 shutout loss. George Springer homers twice for the Blue Jays, and Kansas City has one more shot against Toronto on Sunday. The Cardinals also in action tonight for Game 2 against the Twins. A late surge lifted St. Louis over Minnesota in Game 1. Tonight, they play to clinch the series. Pittsburgh High School basketball standout Javon Grant makes his college decision today. Grant announced this afternoon he will continue his basketball career at Division I Sam Houston State. Grant was the Kansas 5A Player of the Year as a senior last winter. He posted 29 points per game while also pulling down 5 rebounds and dishing out 5 assists per contest. He led the Dragons to a 17-7 record and a trip to the state tournament. You can check out our full story on Grant on the sports page at KOAMNewsNow.com. Patrick Mahomes' 15 and the Mahomes Foundation joins USA Football to host a youth coaches clinic at Webb City High School. The clinic welcomes around 80 coaches from all youth levels all the way to high school. Coaches are provided with important educational information about how the sport has changed and how best to teach young athletes. Webb City head coach John Roderick is leading the clinic. Here's his thoughts on the benefits of the event.
Mainly is just the impact that you can have as a youth football coach. You know, the impact that you can have on a kid, the impact you can have on their future in football, the impact you could have on their lives, and then just trying to make sure we're keeping the game healthy, keeping kids healthy, and being safe as we continue to progress in this sport.
Certainly exciting for that coaches clinic to be held and so many coaches coming together. I think it's a great opportunity for all of them.
Right, especially to have it here locally and have Patrick Mahomes kind of backing that effort.
Yeah, absolutely. Danny, thank you so much. We're going to be right back right after this.
In total cash and Go Rewards prizes.
Coming up tonight at 10 on the KOAM News, we will take you to Emancipation Park Days at Ewart Park in Joplin, plus records becoming popular again. We're taking you to the 4-State Record Show in Carthage. We're going to head to downtown Joplin for the annual sidewalk sale. Those stories and a lot more tonight at 10. Danny, quick final check in sports.
Pittsburgh gets 2 wins today, and they claim the American Legion championship.
Fantastic. See, that's great. We have all these great championship teams here. Maybe we can get the Royals and Cardinals on board. We can have some state championships.
Yeah, that really needs to start
something
happening.
along those lines.
Anything.
Michael, we got weather going on.
Thunderstorm activity all night long. As a matter of fact, if I told you about the amount of lightning that we had right now, it's almost not worth putting on the tracks, Chris, because it is absolutely dangerous up to the central portion of the 4 states. Remember the old adage, when it roars, go indoors. Hear that thunder and lightning? It's not worth it to stay outside, folks. Now, the nice thing about this is you did get a little reprieve temperature-wise, 80s as we begin August.
Looking a lot better into the upcoming week. Guys, thank you so much. That's our time for now. Remember, we're always on with that KOAM News Now app and at KOAMNewsNow.com. And thanks for making us part of your night.
Salon service is provided by the Wild Side.